Hello, everybody. All right, ready? All right, okay. Hello, everybody. This is James for OPW Live. I'm with my man Alex. Alex, hit that button. All right, everybody. Welcome to our OPW Live special content. This is OPW on Powerrr, which is, as you know, NWA Powerrr. Yep. See, Alex likes that one. So we're gonna keep that. And so, just so you know, NWA Powerrr is back. It's been about a year since the show's gone on, and it was on YouTube. Now it's on Fight TV. And me and Alex here decided to take a little review on it, and we're gonna see what we thought about the show and give you our thoughts and everything. So let's get going. All right. So Alex, we open up with commentary. You know, Joe Gill, Tim Storm, and Velvet Sky, which I'm so happy to see Velvet Sky back. I don't know what she's been doing. I know she's married to Bubba, right?
I believe
Bubba Ray,
so, yeah.
Bully Ray. So we know that. So Velvet Sky, and we open up with Strictly Business, which is Nick Aldis, Tim Lander, and Kamille. Like that. What do you think of the promo? I thought that was pretty good.
Because that's the thing I recognize from like especially the previous episodes of NWA Powerrr from last season. Like they
I'll be straight. You have you watched the original on YouTube.
Yeah.
I will admit, this is the first time I've actually watched Powerrr.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm used to watch studio shows back in the day, old school, but it's the first time I've actually seen Powerrr. So you probably are more familiar with the product than I.
To be honest, that's my main comment is like, and this is, I think this was the exciting thing about like the two of us talking about this in particular, because I'm familiar with like what the NWA is trying to do in the more modern times, and especially with the establishment of Powerrr. You as someone who is more familiar with the old school wrestling stuff, you're more familiar with, like you said, the older style of
WCW Saturday Night, Mid South,
and so the NWA Powerrr has always been very much a throwback to that. And I think for this opening promo, I think they did a good job of capturing that spirit, and I think it was cool to see.
I would say it reminded me of Four Horsemen. Nick's just like he's Flair. You got Lander, who's kind of mixture. He could be Arn Anderson, he could be Tully, he could be either one. I kind of got his character. He's kind of crazy, but I think I got that from Nick. And then Kamille is Kamille. I think this is her first time really talking.
I think so. I think in the previous season of Powerrr, they were starting to establish her kind of doing her own thing as an in-ring performer. Previously, like I want to say the way that she started out was very much more of a not. I guess valet is probably the right answer.
Or like kind
of like right. She was she was there to be with Aldis on screen, essentially. That's what it seemed like, at least. But since then, she's very much come into her own. And here she's establishing herself as a future contender for the NWA Women's title.
I think they said she was the number one contender.
That was exactly. That was the thing. She was establishing that she
for that
title.
It was the whole promo itself was good. Actually Nick Aldis, he could talk. I don't have, he's the champion. He can talk. And they're setting up. They have a 6-man tag as the main event, I believe. So they're setting that up. And then like the announcer was it Davis? I think it was
I believe so.
Davis. Yeah. And he's basically setting up. Okay, who's gonna be your third man? They're like, don't worry about it. We'll find out. And then just like Camille's got a match next, so they're like, let's go to that. So they cut the commercial, and we head back. And the first match is Kamille versus Alex Gracia, and it's a squash match.
I mean, essentially, it's interesting to me from the aspect of Alex Gracia was also on AEW. Like she's been on, I think she was on an episode of Dynamite, but she has also been like on AEW Dark as well. So it's like you get the idea that like you will see some talent from that like you'll see some talent from outside the norm of
the NWA. I mean, AEW is flexible and letting their talent book outside
for sure. So this was a good example of that. I had seen some tweets the day of them doing this particular show where you saw a couple people that were showing the fact that they were going to be there. So Alex Gracia in particular was definitely one person there. Like you said, the match itself was short. It was sweet. It was a showcase
Yeah, it
for
got her over
Kamille.
as she's
Yeah.
powerhouse. Yeah, she's a badass, and that's just showing that offense the first time, which makes sense. Like I said, I don't know how long they tape it. They probably took like, I bet you they taped like 4 or 5 of these shows at once or something, maybe. But yeah, so that makes sense. So yeah, she come off. She's a badass. Garcia surprises her, but in the end, she gets overwhelmed because girl looks like she could take men. That's how big. I'm scared. She's a scary woman, and so that was a good squash match. And then we went to the Pope, our TV champion, who's holding the NWA Red Television Belt. I always like that belt.
To be honest.
TV
That
title.
like I've done some photo manipulation work like for various hobbies and stuff, and one title that I found myself going back to like really do work based off of is that NWA TV title.
Yeah,
I was so
it's
yeah, so I was so happy when they brought that back. I want to say I believe it was last year they brought it back because they did the tournament for the TV title initially. And yeah, so we have we have the Pope as the current champion, as you mentioned. I did make note of the fact that we were reminded of the what they like to call the Lucky Seven rule, which is after 7 successful defenses, the TV champion gets a shot at the world title. They also noted later on.
Yeah, he puts the belt. He loses the belt and he gets a shot.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like they did make note of that as well. So it's like, okay, so he gets a shot at that title. He has to give up, and that's cool. Like it reminded me.
No, that's actually that I like that. That is actually a good way to, and it's very smart. What it is it's a way to gauge. Okay, we got the TV champion. Is he working well with the crowd? Is the crowd responding to him? Is he working well with these guys? You can put different guys against them. And it's a good way to gauge for a promoter to gauge, okay, is this guy ready to move to the main event? Can we maybe give him the belt or get him maybe a contendership? What can we push him? So it's a very good way to judge if a talent is ready to move to that next level. And I like that. That's actually very smart. And it's a good way to tell a story. It's a good way to, and you always refresh because the TV champion is always normally supposed to be the guy that's always defending on television, at least every week or every other week.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
how. So it's a
and the Pope, the Pope, he can cut a promo. He's cutting a promo. He's preaching. I thought it was really good. Well, he always could talk. He always could talk. So, and I thought it was pretty good. He talked about they did have a pay-per-view match with Lander because Lander was yelling about losing to him at the pay-per-view match, and he talked about Lander. So they're setting up that Pope has a problem with the Strictly Business, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's like that. And then comes out Austin Idol and Tyrus.
Yeah. Tyrus or Tyrese, either one. All I know is I put for my notes. I put down that he was out here for some reason. I remembered that they've. Here's my thing about it, and it's simply that I remember when they announced that he was gonna be at like the pay-per-view, and I remember thinking, oh, that's an interesting choice. But I mean, I think
I know there's some issues.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some issues, personal issues.
But I will
that he's still working through.
Yeah, but I will say this though. To their credit, they did a good job with the promo itself. Like,
it's Austin Idol. Austin Idol.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Austin Idol. He's being the bombastic heel manager. He's talking a mile a minute. He's like the Austin Idol management. I'm the star management. People who under me, I'm gonna make a star.
Yeah.
And I brought my newest star here. He's he's bad, he's nasty. He's gonna walk through everybody. He's gonna put everybody on notice. You in trouble, Pope? He gonna come for you. He gonna come for everybody.
Like
and then Pope is like Pope doing the Rock. Who is that? Essentially, Pope is like,
yeah.
And Titus is like basically, I ain't got to say nothing to you. I'm gonna crush you. I crush everybody. I will do my talking later. And like that's
exactly. Like again, in a similar vein to the opening promo, the fact that it's a nice like old school style promo, like and Austin Idol,
because it works.
Well, yeah.
He's a mean, nasty dude. You can see it. You look at him. He got the gray beard. He's 300 pounds. He looks like he's probably lost some weight. He looks like he's lost weight. He ain't sloppy. He don't look sloppy like I seen him before.
Yeah.
But he had a shirt on too. So
but yeah. So.
but No,
Oh no,
it's
yeah, so the promo itself was good. I will say that like it made me, uh, to be really honest, I think that Austin Idol's presence in this promo actually made me more interested in seeing what happens with Tyrese, because like I said,
yeah.
I saw that Tyrese was attached to the return of the NWA, and I'm just like, okay, but like if you've got someone
No,
like Austin Idol like kind of backing him as a manager, I think that's a good, I think that's a good pairing. So it'll be,
no, it's a good thing. No, because this is a place he doesn't have to talk too
yeah,
much. He doesn't really have to talk. Idol does all the talking. He can just say yeah, or I'm gonna kill you, something like that. That's all he got to say.
yeah,
I mean, it works. It works for him. And they were saying, and before Pope was doing his promo, which is interesting, they had the guys set up in the ring. I believe they were setting up for, I believe it's a shot at the TV
yeah,
title.
yeah. It was,
So we
yeah,
have,
it was like a number one contenders match. Yeah.
yeah, and they had Fred
Mhm.
Rosser, who is AKA No Days Off Fred Rosser, AKA Darren
Mhm.
Young, AKA Black John Cena, with Matt Cross and Marshall
Yep.
Rockett, like that. And it was a decent, it's a three. And then after the Pope joins them on commentary, and it's a
Yeah.
decent three-way match. Out of those in the ring, Darren Rosser is probably the most experienced of them. Well, no, you could say Matt Cross is probably the most experienced of that, but I would say the bigger star of everybody, if you want to really say that, is Fred Rosser.
Yeah. No, that's a
Darren
fair
Young,
point.
No
Yeah.
Days Off, and you'll say he's Mr.
I
No Days Off, Fred
and I
Rosser.
will say to Rosser's credit, like he was most recently featured on New Japan Strong, which is like the
Yeah,
U.S. based show that they've been doing for New Japan World. So like he
yeah, and
yeah,
I believe had someone in the commentary said that too. I was looking
yeah,
at the chat
which
commentary for the show, and
yeah,
someone said
exactly,
that
which was
too.
another thing. Like there,
Or the announcers say that. I thought the announcers, one of them said.
it's
I
been
heard. I
brought
saw
up,
it
yeah.
first.
But I think that and that
Yeah,
speaks to NWA's ability to recognize, like, okay, the way that we kind of need to do this in 2021 is to at least acknowledge like some of these, it's something we've talked about on our show before too, like the
yeah,
acknowledgement of the world of wrestling outside your immediate bubble. So,
yeah, yeah.
and then,
And it was like I said, it was a decent three-way dance. It's
oh
what you
yeah,
expect when you have a
oh yeah,
triple
for
threat.
sure,
Two guys in the ring, one guy's knocked out. Then one guy roll in, and it was like a takeover like that. And I think Matt Cross can work though. Like I said, I wish we get Matt Cross in a bigger land because he still has that great rope bounce back what he does between his arms and everything. He still can do that shooting star, and he can get out of the shooting star, and land on his
yeah,
feet. He's still showing that he's such a great. I loved him when he was
oh
Lucha
yeah, for
Underground.
sure.
Back.
Yeah, yeah,
But in the end, Fred Rosser wins with the gut check, and looks like he's going to be the next shot at Pope's TV
yep,
title. So hopefully we'll probably see that next week, maybe, or when next week I think is when they do the next show. But yeah, it was a good match. I thought it was okay. And so they went there. Then we had and then Austin. I doesn't. What's it? There was a commercial for Austin Dice's wrestling school,
yeah, I
I
believe
believe.
so. Yeah,
And he was just spitting. I mean, that was like he did like at least 3 minutes of just spitting for that school, man. I gotta give the art style, man. That was just nonstop spit commercial for that school, man. Well done, like that. And so we went there. We had Slice
yep,
Boogie, who made his debut, I believe, at the pay
I
per
believe
view
so. Yeah,
and everything. And he was talking to Meg Valentine, who is another announcer, and she looks like she's like supposed to be like the Missy Hyatt, I believe, of the announcing crew of the announcers and everything. Because Slice, I like Slice, I like him though. He came off, he was spitting
mm-hmm.
well. He said, he was like, I'm from Brooklyn born, spitting it out there. And he's like, and she asked him, how like, what's your next site? He's like, well, my next site said, you girl, what you doing later?
Yeah, such a
Hey, you got to shoot your
yeah,
shot, man. She's like, this ain't the time to discuss that. He's like, hey, okay, we'll talk about it
yeah.
later. All right, all right.
I will. I want to give both of them 100% credit on that, because yeah, Slice Boogie kind of messing around a little bit, but I really like Valentine's response to that. It was nice, but uh
Yeah.
interesting thing about Slice Boogie, I do remember watching him last last January. Yeah, January of 2020. I saw him at the GCW show that they had in LA. It was literally one of the last shows, like one of the last things I got to see wrestling wise before the pandemic. So it's just like, okay, well at least I got to see that. And yeah, he was really impressive at that show. So yeah, so I was really happy to see.
Good. I mean, I can say that just from the promo alone, I like him. I like the way he talks. I like his promo. He looked like he looked like a big dude. He looked like he could work like that. I mean, I haven't seen him work. I probably will see him soon. But from what I hear, just the promo alone, I like the guy. So I want to see some more from him. I want to see what he could do because he looks like he's got the promo stuff down. If he can work, if his work in the ring is like his promo, he's gonna be a star. I think he's gonna make this guy a star. He's gonna have he can spit game, and that's half the job right there. And everything. That's half the job. And if he can if I see him, I just want to see him work. If I see him work and everything, I can see this guy TV champion. I see him a world champion. Give him about a year, 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Exactly.
You never know. But it was a good promo, and I like her response because she kind of did that. Well,
yeah, exactly. It was like good on her for standing up for herself in that moment. Really.
Yeah, I like that. But she does have a look though. I was like, no, I'm not going to talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Okay, then we went to I believe Mike Perro versus Jordan Clearwater. Yes. Now, I'm not familiar with either one of these. I'll be honest with you. I did like
this is where I think this is where I get to jump in because I do know a little. I do know a little bit about both these guys. So I'll start off with Jordan Clearwater, the guy that didn't get to last quite so long in this match, but still at least he put up a little bit of a fight. Jordan Clearwater, a former television champion with United Wrestling Network. Which it's a kind of similar vein to the NWA. It was a thing kind of headed up by Dave Marquez, and to their credit, they were doing Primetime Live, which was like the weekly pay-per-view series last year. Last year they were doing that as a kind of like a way to showcase talent. And so Jordan Clearwater's been involved with them. Mike Parrow he's been on the indies a lot. He was most recently featured. I'm trying to remember. He was featured at an NWA pay-per-view. Before the pandemic, I want to say. But so this was his NWA Powerrr debut. And I think they made note of that as well. But
well, he did say I'm back.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he was.
He's back.
Yeah, exactly. He was previously there for a pay-per-view, but this was his first opportunity to showcase his skills outside of that particular moment. I think he was also in Evolve at one point. I could be wrong, but he's been on the indies a lot prior to this. So good on him for getting on television, so to speak. Yeah. I'm really happy to see that. And the match itself, again, it was more of a showcase for Perro, it
was kind of a squash. I think he was kind of establishing him as a return.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it was okay. I mean, it was an okay match. I think Clearwater did, got some. It was mostly big guy taking on smaller than him. Clearwater basically getting overpowered. Tried to do some comebacks, but in the end, he can't overcome the big power.
Yeah, exactly. So short but sweet, but again, a good showcase for Perro.
And wasn't Marquez used to be? Marquez not involved with NWA anymore, though. I think he used to be, championship referee for Hollywood.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. He's a guy who's run NWA Hollywood, and then that became Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which is still going. Yeah. I think they've taken a little bit of a break.
Still going, but they're not affiliated with NWA.
Not in quite the same way. He did help with some stuff related to NWA recently. When they did the NWA showcase, for example, or no. I think the show. Remember, okay, the show that they Shockwave. Oh, Shockwave. There we go. NWA Shockwave.
Yeah, Shockwave.
When they did that kind of premiere episode, and they were trying to start that, they had used that same studio that they did the UWN Primetime Live with.
Yeah.
So that was the kind they were.
I don't think it went through though. I think because of the
fight
I think something.
Yeah. So it was that was more of a thing to that was more him helping on the production side of things. But yeah. It was
Oh yeah, I understand that. Then we had the Thunder Rosa came out, and she spit her promo, and then interrupted by Marlena, who still looked good though. I think Marlena's still looking good. I was like, hey, I ain't seen Marlena in a while. Hey, I mean, I haven't seen her since Lucia Underground, and that's why they know each other, anyways. When they Thunder was Cobra. Was she the no Suprenta? Was she part of the Cobra
No,
Club?
she
I
was
know she's part
she
of the
was
Cobra Club.
Cobra Moon.
No, she no,
Thunder
yeah,
Rosa
she's
was
Cobra.
Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, oh yeah, because her brother was Moth. Was the Moth? It was like
Oh
younger
no.
brother.
See, I think no.
No,
See, there's a little bit of confusion. No. Thunder Rosa was the leader of the Reptile tribe.
Cobra Club.
Yeah, the Reptile tribe.
The Reptile
She
tribe.
was
Okay,
Cobra Moon.
yeah.
Melina was not in Lucha Underground, but she and Thunder Rosa have had issues. I think I want to say from last season of NWA Powerrr.
No, Melina did show up in Lucha Underground like season 2. Johnny Mundo.
Oh, okay.
I remember she was like a valet, or she was a wrestler. But yeah, so but as you said, they did have a
Yeah, so
history. As they
they have a
explained,
history within the
they had like
NWA, so this is kind of them revisiting that.
yeah. So basically, what it looks like is, Thunder says, I want to get my belt back." Kamille, she's talking about Kamille as a bad, big, strong woman. I don't think she's ready, but she may be strong, but she has the experience I got. Then, and then Melina comes out, and then Melina basically, like, she wants to bury the hatchet. Hey, we know we had our issues, but I understand what you've been going through, and I sympathize with you. I understand that, and I want to let you know, like I said, I got your back if you want to,
Yeah.
if you got problems or anything like that, I got your back. Just come see me. And Thunder Rosa's like, cool. I'm grateful for that, but I really don't need any help right now. And Melina kind of had this look on her face that Thunder looks away. And she's kind of like had this like mean look on her face for a second. Then she went away. Very subtle. I liked what she did. She was very subtle. You could see she kind of had this sourpuss look on her face, and then went away real quick.
Yeah, and I will say the one thing I do want to touch on with that is I think that if you weren't already familiar with their history on NWA prior to this, that might come across a little confusing. But like I think that's just kind of what happens when you do come back from a break. Like to the commentators' credit, I think they've tried they tried really hard throughout the show to kind of help establish these story points as well.
Yeah, they're trying, and they're saying that, and no, but yeah, she did I think that she did plant a seed though, to maybe she didn't like her response.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and that's what she did. That's what she kind of had that frown for a little bit. It was for a second. It was like a couple of seconds, and then it went away like that. But she kind of she didn't like her response to that. Like, hey, I'm offering you a hand here, and you ain't taking it.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that.
So I expect that we may see something here. I don't know if they're gonna pay it off down the line, and maybe she comes out and helps her, and then like Thunder still rejects it, and then one time she come help her again, and she just turns on her or something. So they might do that. It would work. I think.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
But again, it was good. It was a good way to set up something for down the line. I think they're doing that. And then we had the main event, which is a 6-man tag. It's Aron Stevens, formerly Damien Sandow. You had Kratos.
JR Kratos. Yep.
JR Kratos, and then the Pope.
Yep.
Versus Strictly Business, Nick Aldis, Thom Latimer, and Chris Adonis, formerly Chris Master.
Yep.
The masterpiece, and he's still the masterpiece.
Yep.
He's the masterpiece, Chris Adonis.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised.
It's funny because they had promoted him as returning because they promoted him on the pay-per-view graphic, but I still was a little surprised to see. Okay, so now he's associating himself with this group's Strictly Business.
Didn't he hurt? Then they have the pay-per-view. They saying that the commentators I heard, they're saying that he hurt Trevor Murdoch.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, and then I don't know, was Trevor Murdoch working with Strictly Business, or were they feuding with Strictly?
I don't know for sure about Trevor Murdoch. I do know that somebody named Royce was I forgot to write down the name here, but Royce was associated with them as well. Funnily enough, I had seen that Royce was promoted for an episode of AEW Dark, which I think was
I think Royce is not there anymore, because I thought because they were talking about, didn't the commentators talk about they need a third person now?
That was the thing they were talking about. They were talking about that Royce wasn't there, so and I do want to make a quick note of this because I was curious about this. So, for example, Thom Latimer I did not realize this at first. I had to look him up. I realized that was if you'd seen TNA or Impact or whatever, he was Bram on Impact. I was
Yeah,
like,
he was
oh,
Bram.
okay,
Yeah,
I reckon. It took me a minute to recognize him because it's been a while.
yeah. He was a little. I think he was a little bit dirtier as
I think
Bram.
so. Like
He looks streamer now.
given his character at that time, I think that was the idea. But yeah, so it was an
Yeah,
interesting 6-man tag for sure. I did
it
make
was. Here's the
Go ahead.
thing, though, and yeah, what they were teasing essentially because Aron Stevens was working with Question Mark,
Yeah, yeah.
and they said that when Question Mark, as everybody knows, he
Mhm.
died,
Mhm.
uh, and Stevens has a change of heart now because he was so close
Yeah.
to him, and it looks like as they were selling, he's kind of gone face essentially,
Right. And
and
so
and that's what they were doing. This interesting dynamic is he starts the match out. He's pretty much in peril for like 3/4 of
mhm.
the match, you know, and he's not taking shortcuts though. And then Kratos is like berating him, like, "Come on, because Kratos looks like he's
Yeah,
still
he's still
heel
firmly in the heel camp, so to speak. Yeah.
in the heel camp. So Kratos is kind of like berating him for not taking shortcuts to get the tag. He's like, get over here, dude.
Yeah.
Get over here. And then interesting thing is they had him jump to Pope to make when he finally did the heat spot,
Yeah.
hot
Mhm.
tag. He jumps to Pope, and Kratos is kind of like the odd man out of this because it's like he doesn't want to do anything. So, like I said, basically the match was set up. Basically, is Strictly Business is working over Stevens the whole time. Pope comes and does his thing, and then Kratos only gets in. Now Kratos comes in. He did like power bomb and everything, but he didn't tag it. He jumped in,
Right.
did it, and then Kratos does like a hot blind
Mhm.
tag to get
Mhm.
in, and he's like ready. He's ready. He grabs the chair. He's ready to take out. Who was it? Lattimore? Not Lattimore. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lattimore,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I
I
think
think it was
so.
Lattimore. And then he pulls back, and he just said, "The hell with this." He's just gonna wipe him. He got a chair. He's swinging back. He's about to smash him. I mean, he swung that. He's like pulling. Oh, we're going back from
Yep.
Chicago to bring this thing here.
Honestly,
And Stevens grabs the chair
yeah.
at the last second. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he gets rolled
Yeah,
up.
honestly, this was. I think this is the moment that really made the match for me because
Yeah,
to your point, like they were teasing this dissension between the tag team champions, mind you. Aron Stevens and
yeah,
Kratos are the NWA tag champions, and so
yeah. Their tag champions came out with the
yeah,
belts and
so
everything.
with the dissension being clear between them and Aron being more less susceptible, I should say, to doing the heel tactics.
Taking
Yeah.
shortcuts.
So it
Yeah,
meant a lot that as Kratos is about to whammy somebody with a chair, that Stevens is like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that today.
and here's the thing too. That would definitely got them to win because Pope is arguing with the ref. So the ref's
Oh
back is
yeah,
turned.
everything about that was set up for them to
It
take
was
that
all
win.
set up perfect. It's like he let him with the chair. He throws the chair out, pin, game
Yeah,
over.
and so for all intents and purposes, Stevens basically sacrificed the win in order to uh,
Be
be
no,
noble. Yeah. Then like you
yeah,
said, Kratos ends up getting pinned off the back of that, and that's how we see the match end. And
that's how you see the match. And so the match itself is kind of immaterial. I think so. I can understand the match itself is really well, Strictly Business wins, yes, but it's really this match is a setup for that dissension. They're setting the seeds for that. So that's what this match was really about,
yeah,
and it makes sense and everything. It's like this is well, Strictly Business. If you're doing this for paycheck, they got the higher paycheck
yeah,
and everything.
exactly.
You do it that way, but and that's the one for your Kratos to be pissed. Like you cost me a
Hmm.
paycheck. Hey, we're going to win this. Cost me a paycheck. I took the loss. What's going on with you? And then Pope's kind of like, well, yeah. I did this.
Yeah, I think.
Pope's, I did my business. Hey, I
Yeah,
don't know what
exactly.
happened.
So I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's two. So basically, there's two. To me, at least, there's two big things to take away from this main event. Again, the dissension between Stevens and Kratos, and what that looks like with Stevens's change of heart,
Yeah.
and the fact that there's the there seems to be at least the strong possibility. I think they base. I don't know if they 100% confirmed it, on the show, but the idea of Chris, the masterpiece,
Chris Atlas, yeah,
essentially
masterpiece,
joining forces with, and joining
strictly
strictly
business.
business. So there's like two big
And,
takeaways from that.
yeah, and I think he might be. I think that'd be a good. I mean, that'd be a good replacement. I see him as a good replacement because him and Lattimore as two the powerhouse, the two power guys, the tag team of that.
Yeah.
And essentially, because what this is, it would fit with Nick building himself just strong people around him. He's got two muscle dudes. He's got three muscle if you count Kamille.
Right. Right.
He's got three muscle power people around him, and he's the champion like that. So, and you can see, and you can actually, if they really want to go this route, you can have them, Lattimore and Atlas team up to take the tag belts,
Yeah, I can see that being a possibility.
essentially.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: Kratos is pissed, with Strictly for getting the pin, and Strictly Business can challenge them for the tag titles, and then you can have them blow up and they take the belts.
Yeah.
So that's a path that I don't know if they want to go that route,
Yeah.
but hey,
Exactly.
it's there.
So.
But okay, so overall, like I said, this is my first Power
Mm-hmm.
show that I've seen. I didn't watch the YouTube era, and overall, it was a good show. Now, like I said, I chalked this up to probably it's the first time
Mm-hmm.
back. I did have some issues with sound.
Yeah.
Now,
That.
it's simulating the crowd. They're simulating the crowd, and I know there was a lot of people there, like they used to, and so they were simulate. There's probably a good, I would probably say maybe a dozen people if I want to be like that. But the problem with the audio issue that I had is the mic for the crowd was too high. I could hear too much of the crowd yelling. I know we want to we want to hear the crowd, yes, boo, you suck, all that. But the announcers' mics were too low. So I had a hard time at some points hearing the announcer, especially I love Velvet Sky and I thought she did real well. Where I could hear her because she was using her soft voice. She wasn't using her character voice.
Right.
She's actually using her
Right.
voice. So I know her Velvet Sky character voice is loud. I know that. I remember
Right.
that.
Right. Right.
But she was using her normal voice, and it sounds like she was on the Golf Channel. That's what he's saying. Is like she's watching a golf match, and she's talking softly, and it's hard to hear her. In some points of the match, you have to really strain and listen for that. Now the other guys were fine, but they were also low. So I hoping that maybe this is something they'll fix in the next episode. Just change the audio mix and just lower the crowd, or keep the crowd where it's at, up the
Yeah,
announcers.
I mean, it's just yeah, it's definitely a production thing that I think they can easily get corrected before the next episode. So
Yeah, I mean, other than that, it was okay. I mean, I thought it was a good show. It was an hour show. I thought they got what they wanted. They set some seeds up for future
hmm
stuff. We got, they were, and it's the first episode back, so they're trying to reestablish that, that we're
yeah,
universe and everything,
exactly.
and trying to reestablish, the world where they're at right now when they left off. So, we know Nick Aldis is the world champion. We know Pope is the television
hmm
champion. There's a problem with the tag team champions. The women's champion, she's hurt, so number one contender right now, and Thunder Rosa will probably be jockeying until she gets back
hmm
in. I think they did a good job. I think overall, if I have to give it, if we're gonna do our smarkies for this one, I would probably say I'll give it a 4. Well, I'll give it a 4. Like I said, I liked the wrestling. I liked who was
hmm
there. I did like that. Fine. Audio issues kind of knocked it down a little bit here, but I think I'm being kind of a little generous. I'll give it a 4. I want to see more. I want to see the next episode. I want to see where they're going with what they're setting up now and everything. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to your point, that's I mean that's a lot of how I feel about it as well. I think they did a good job of reestablishing some storylines and setting some new ones up in the process. I do want to make a quick note on the champion situation. So Trevor Murdoch, I believe, is the current national heavyweight championship. So there is like a story point there as well. So that's
Okay.
just something like at this point they've reestablished a good number of the championships that they've had prior to like the relaunch of the NWA.
What's he? What is it? He said, what's it called?
The national heavyweight championship is the one that Trevor Murdoch holds at the moment.
Natural
The
heavyweight?
national. Yeah,
National. Oh, national.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So that's like the Intercontinental. That's like the
right,
Intercontinental
or
title.
like the U.S. title, either or. But yeah, exactly. So it's essentially, it's like a second, like a slightly second tier in terms of your
Yeah.
championships. But the overall, it was interesting to see them reestablish these story points and build up some new ones as well. I think for what we got, all things considered, I got to go with the Force Marquis as well. Again, to your
Yeah.
point, like I do think the production stuff was just enough to kind of knock it down a little bit. But like as far as the actual booking goes, I thought it was solid. I thought they did a good job of uh, like for the kind of matches that we got, it was kind of clear like there's a clear path of where they're going with Powerrr, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, these are a good slice of what type of wrestling they
Yeah.
do and everything like that. And you got we got the women's match, we got a three-way match, we got a singles match, we got
Exactly.
triple
We did
threat,
get a good variety of matches here.
and you got a good variety of matches in an hour. And they weren't long matches. I mean, these are short. It's only hours, so they're short, they're sweet.
Right.
They get the point down, and like I said, it was like I agree. Like I said, so hopefully, again, we're going to probably do another one next week when it comes on. And hopefully this will be a regular steady for us to go look and see. And we can establish what storylines. Remember, we will pick up and see where they start off.
Yeah.
And they give it a
For
thoughts.
Sure.
But I thought it's a good return.
Yeah, absolutely.
For them.
So
and I'm looking forward to see what NWA is going to do next. And it's a good alternative. I know we have our WWE, we got our AEW.
I think that what pro wrestling really needs right now are clear alternatives, because it gives something for everybody.
Yeah. And I'm hopefully, like I said, we'll be back probably next week for the next one. And I want to thank you everybody for watching today. And like I said, if you like what we say, please leave a comment, help subscribe, share, hit the share button, subscribe, leave a comment, or just hit the like button. Like what you're listening to. And we want to thank you, Alex. Like I said, thank you for joining with me today.
No problem.
On this one, and look forward to talking to you again. I know we have our normal OPW live telecast this Thursday on Twitch. I believe 9 p.m. Eastern time. Am I correct?
That's correct.
All right. Be sure to join us on Twitch. And is there anything you want to add, Alex?
No, like you said, like I especially would like to hear like what people think on NWA Powerrr, because I know like the only other thing is the question of there is the matter of the fact that you do pay $5 a month for this. So I'm really curious to see people's opinions on whether or not $5 a month is worth paying to watch wrestling that's different from WWE. I think so, but I know that not everyone feels the same way. So I am curious to hear a variety of opinions on it. So yeah.
True. Like I said, I'm still thinking. Like I said, my still out there because I haven't watched what's on YouTube. So before. But from what I see right now, I don't have a problem with spending $5 watching it. I don't. And I'll give some leeway. See what they do.
Exactly.
And I always have in mind to change my mind later if I have to.
Because it's even on the thing. You can cancel it at any time. It's not like not like you're stuck on a contract.
No, I'm not. So it's not a cell phone.
Exactly.
It's not a cell phone. All right. So like I said, again, Alex, I'm glad I could spend the time with you today. I look forward to Thursday. Hit that button. We'll get out of here. And skip away. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a good day or night or whenever you're watching this. Take care.